finally getting to be springtime. We've got crocuses popping up, some daffodils and tulips. The cats are loving it outside. I've been outside walking with my daughter and my baby as much as I can. And I've just been doing some new things in the kitchen. So I'm gonna bring you around the house and the kitchen for a couple of days as I get ready for spring and celebrate the new things that are coming our way. So I'm going to show you a long day where we did several different things. This may have even been over a couple of days. I can't exactly remember, but I had planned to make sourdough bagels for lunch this day, so I'm starting them the night before because these are going to be long fermented. I have the full printable recipe for this on the blog, theduvallhomestead.com, and I'll leave it linked below. But it is 3/4 cup active sourdough starter. Now, you could use discard here as well, as long as it's been fed within the last week or so and not, completely dead. 1 3/4 cup filtered water, 1½ teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon olive oil, and 2 tablespoons of honey. Then you add about 4 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, and you mix that up and you just let it sit on your countertop overnight. I cover it with some plastic so that it doesn't dry out. So now we're looking at the next day, and I woke up early to get these bagels started because you kind of have to let them rise for a little while before you make them. So if you're planning on making them for lunch, you would want to start this process in the morning and then let them sit. So my plan here was to wake up before the kids, do this first thing, then I would work on the breakfast. So you're gonna see kind of my whole morning routine here. But basically, this is a very easy process once you get used to it. The dough looks nice and fluffy. It's always good when you can work your dough easily with your hands, and it should be a little bouncy. Sorry if you're hearing some baby coos in the background. I've got a very chatty baby now. So I'm gonna divide the dough into, I think I was trying to remember whether it was 6 or 8 pieces, but I did 8 today. You could do 6 depending on the size of your bagels. The only problem with doing 8 is they're gonna be a little bit crowded, which you'll see happens to me here, but I think I just forgot. I haven't made bagels in a little while actually, even though this is definitely one of my favorite sourdough recipes, and my family's too. And I have to say, whenever I buy bagels from the store, no one likes them. I mean, we eat them, but these are just so good. So you basically just roll them into balls and then you poke a hole in the center. I'm gonna put them right on my tray here with parchment paper, and then throw a towel over the top, and then I'm gonna let them sit. So for breakfast, I wanted to create a new recipe for my blog, and I decided to do banana pancakes with sourdough starter. We listen to a lot of music at our house, and one of our favorite artists is Jack Johnson. You probably know the song Banana Pancakes, and I'll see if I can play it while I'm making this. It was definitely playing in the background in real time here, but my daughter loves it. She loves that song. She always says banana pancakes, and so I said, why aren't we making banana pancakes while we're listening to the song? So I actually practiced this recipe a couple of times, and it's actually very, very simple. Let me pull it up while I'm doing this voiceover here, because I just started working on this blog post. So I am going to use some sourdough discard in here. I try to do that a lot in my recipes because so many people love sourdough discard. I mean, people just love using that stuff up. So this makes 8 to 10 small to medium-sized pancakes. So I'm gonna do 2 bananas, 2 eggs, 1 cup einkorn flour. Oh, I also use einkorn flour in this, by the way. One of my favorites, as you know, if you watch this channel. Half a cup sourdough discard, half a teaspoon baking soda, a pinch of salt, half a teaspoon pumpkin spice, 1/4 cup maple syrup, and then 2 to 4 tablespoons of butter for seasoning the cast iron skillet. My daughter woke up while I was doing this, and she loves to help. She has a little apron that she wears, and she especially loves things that she can mash, so like mashed potatoes. She likes to do that. I have that vintage masher, and I just love watching her use it. It's so cute. And it really kind of didn't work well, so I was trying to use this spoon as well. But basically you just mash the bananas up and get everything all mushy. Create your pancake batter. And I'm also gonna fry up some eggs with this. We eat fried eggs about every morning. And look at those yolks, they're so orange. I can't remember if these are from our chickens or not, because right as I was filming this, our chickens started really picking up their egg production. Now we only have 3, so the most eggs we're gonna get in a day is 3, but that's actually perfect for our family. And if we had more, we would definitely, well, we would actually really like more. But 3 is enough, and then we do buy eggs from a local farm. And I'm trying to be real here and show you that I have a mess on the floor that just accumulates all day. And I just try to clean it up all day. But it's okay. It's definitely worth having my kids around, which I really enjoy. So I'm using my cast iron skillets here. I realized that I pretty much only use cast iron. I don't have any other skillets. I'm just so used to using them now. They get really hot. They are well seasoned, so everything about them is just very easy for me. I always put chocolate chips in my pancakes. It is just, there's something about chocolate in the morning for me. I don't know if anyone else is like that out there, but I love chocolate in the morning. So I'll do like a Dutch baby. I'll make a Dutch baby and then I'll roll it up with chocolate inside. And then I'll do pancakes with chocolate or French toast with chocolate chips. So literally anything I can put chocolate chips in, I will. I don't know what it is. I love eggs, and then I love to have something with chocolate chips in it afterward. So these came out delicious, and I photographed them for the blog, and the blog post will be up very soon, close to the date that you're watching this video. So now it's lunchtime, and I'm gonna prepare, there's my baby on the floor. He does that a lot as I'm cooking. I'm gonna prepare the bagels, and I'm shredding cheese right now. So what I'm doing actually in the background is I'm boiling water, because you have water boiling here, and then you add about a teaspoon of sugar or a tablespoon, I can't remember. And then once it's boiling, then you add the bagels, and you don't wanna overcrowd them, so I'm just adding a couple at a time. And Matthew's joining me. And you let them simmer for 1 minute and then flip them, and then you do a minute on the other side. And then they're gonna grow, so you do need to be careful, because you got your pan right there with your parchment paper, and you're gonna put them back on the parchment paper, and you really need to have a big pan, or use 2 pans. That would probably be wiser. I think I tried to make this work on 1 pan, because I literally, probably just because I didn't have another hand. I didn't want to put my baby down because he was fussing or something. And it's amazing how many things I do just because I don't have a hand to do it. So I was like, I'm gonna make this work. And I did, so they do work. Even if they're crowded, they work, but ideally you would keep them nice and spaced out. But my favorite topping on these bagels is cheese. And there's also a seasoning that's called everything bagel seasoning, and that's really good too. So I actually put that over the cheese. Some people would just put that by itself, which you can do. But whenever I do that, I find myself only eating the cheese bagels. So cheese bagels with the seasoning on top, and it's so good. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna take care of some chores outside. My daughter is almost old enough to get the eggs out of the chicken coop, and I can't wait for that because I feel like she's gonna take over the chicken chores really beautifully. She loves taking care of the chickens, but she's just not tall enough to get the eggs quite yet. or to get over that fence that you just saw me hop over. We had to fence around our patio there because the chickens, they poop a lot, and I don't really mind it, but on the patio I do mind it because they would always go right up next to our back door that you're seeing right here and poop like right at the door. And I'm like, I need a place to put my shoes on at least, so. Because we don't have, this is not a mudroom, this is like our kitchen right here, so we decided to fence them off of the patio, which they're fine with. There's nothing for them there anyway. And I thought this view was kind of fun because, I don't know about you all, if you all have little kids, but I'm always cleaning, literally always cleaning. Okay, so for this lunch on the side, I always like to have a protein. I'm gonna go get my baby. So to make this a more complete meal, I have some leftover, I can't remember if this is roast pork or roast beef, but it's a roast. We do so many roasts in the winter, and we are just starting to wean ourselves off of roasts because as much as I love roasts, I get tired of them, and in the summertime we do a lot more barbecuing and Mediterranean eating, like, you know, fish or just chicken. I mean, just like, I don't know, just less heavy meals. If I do a roast, it's just to get the meat off later, as opposed to actually eating it, like in the roast preparation form. Anyway, so bagels and fresh cream cheese we just picked up from a farmer's market, so that's some fresh cream cheese right there. So good. And that was a really good lunch. Okay, that's a beat. So what I'm doing here is we're gonna dye Easter eggs. So like I said, we got more eggs from the coop, and I've been wanting to do a natural Easter egg dyeing for a long time now, and we actually got a book and I read about how to do it, so I'm trying it out here. And these are beets. I just simmered them in water for a while, poured them out, strained them out, and then we've got a beautiful color here to stain the eggs. So we're gonna see if it works. And I could probably just drink this, but the juice was really pretty, and I actually really like beets, but I hate preparing them. So we actually buy beets from the store, like cooked, and they have like a marinade on them. And my daughter and I love them. And I do have a tutorial for how I make beets and some of the tips and tricks I use to not turn red, you know, everything red. But I really don't do it very often, if I'm being honest, because it's a mess and I just don't want to do it. Anyway, here we are. Any moms of 2.5-year-olds know that they just want to do everything, and they're so close to being able to do it, and she's actually doing a great job here. Okay, so we wanted to do some blue as well, so I decided to try some blueberries. Now actually this might come out purple, I can't remember, but let's see. These are actually frozen blueberries, and normally I wouldn't want to donate all my blueberries to this project because blueberries are expensive, but those blueberries were going bad anyway, and I wouldn't normally give them to the chickens, but I just froze them so we could use them as dye. And then for the next color, for like a yellow gold color, we're gonna do some orange onion peels in water, and then a couple tablespoons of turmeric. Now this color worked out really beautifully, very golden. I do have a tutorial for hard-boiled eggs on my blog as well. But basically you just boil water, put your eggs in the boiling water for 12 minutes, and then take them out. And there is a little bit of a strategy with that. Like I like to use a spoon to put them in, you don't just drop them in. I put them in slow so I don't shock the egg too badly. That just helps prevent cracking in the water. And then after you take them out, I put them in a bowl and then I put them in the fridge, and that helps them become easy to peel later. So I'm actually dyeing brown eggs here, which is not ideal. Usually you like to dye white eggs, but I couldn't find any white eggs in my area. Every farm I know of, including our chickens, we're all brown eggs around here, or blue or copper. Everyone likes those colors, so I really never see white eggs, but I thought the brown would be fine. And so I made a little bit of a mistake here, and I did add vinegar, by the way. You add about a tablespoon or 2 of vinegar, white vinegar, to the egg stain. But I put it in the fridge because I was running out of time. You can see it's nighttime now, and I thought I would just leave it in there all night. And I think it was too long because there were some like weird film sediment on the eggs, like you'll see in a second here, that I had to peel off, but it's really not a big deal. Look how pretty it came out. So the beet one is pink, like hot pink. And the nice part about this is that juice that I made is still good. So it didn't take all the dye out. So I'll make more eggs because it's still early March. I'll keep making eggs and then keep using that same juice over and over. So that's nice. And the vinegar kind of preserves it. I love how the golden ones came out. So once I washed them and peeled kind of the sediment off, so they came out okay. They're not as vibrant as I would have liked, but they're very pastel and still really pretty. Taking a video of our chicken coop and our eggs, because we're just so happy to finally see the eggs. These are buds from our rose bush that we have in the back, and our hydrangea. And you know the feeling, right? When it's still snowing outside and you see these buds and you're like, oh my gosh, it's coming. Spring is coming. Well, we're so excited. So I did end up photographing these. And like I said, I think if I wouldn't have left them in for so long, I think the color would have come out better. I think that they actually I think I used too much vinegar because I didn't measure the vinegar, and I also think I left them in there for too long. But I tried it again later with eggs and it came out actually better. I only left them in there for about 30 minutes. So I'll be writing up that tutorial for that because I want to make that into a blog post as well. It was really fun and easy to do. I always like when you can use kitchen scraps to do stuff too, especially when it comes to food products, because you're going to be eating the eggs, and sometimes when you dye eggs with the dye from the store, it kind of gets on the egg and you're like, am I eating something bad? Like, oh, maybe. So if you're eating beet juice, that's not a bad thing at all. So I'm trying to decorate a little bit. My hutch just needed a kind of breath of fresh life. Honestly, I wish I had more time to do this. With the two littles right now, I don't have a lot of time, but I just put some plates on some little plate racks in the back, put some pictures in there, a bowl, a really festive Easter bowl, and then a little, it's like I want to say tea towel, but it's more like a cloth, like a really small tablecloth with some Easter pattern on it and some pictures on top. These ducks are so cute. And the little blue gingham. Just nice to have some color in here. I would love to get some fresh flowers going. I just haven't yet. It has been really, really busy around here. And then I love to refresh this space. It's our main living space, so we kind of have a great room here. And we have toys and everything, and it just feels good to fluff it up, get the blankets back, pillows back, and I change out our picture on the frame TV, and that's always nice. There's a lot of work I want to do on the shiplap wall you see here. We just put that shiplap in a few months ago, and those windows are empty, and I want to sew curtains for them. So I have a lot of things I want to do, just struggling to find the time to do them. But for now, it's amazing the impact that just a small refresh does on a room. Just fluffing the pillows, putting the blankets back, washing things, tidying, and I try to do this once a day. Can't see real well, but I do have some really pretty beeswax candles on the mantle. I probably should have done a close-up of the mantle. For the frame TV, I don't know why it's flickering like that on the video here, but it's a really pretty picture of a house, and it's springtime, there's flowers everywhere, and then like a woman walking to the house. It's really cute. Oh, there we go. There's a close-up. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I just thought I would take you along and show you what we have been up to. We've been trying to spend a lot of time outside when it is sunny, even though it's been really cold. 2 eggs. A lot of time cooking in the kitchen, some time tidying the home, hanging out with chickens. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what you've been up to in the comments below. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for stopping by the Duvall Homestead.